Okay, it's time for another review. I'm very excited for today. This video is the one that I wanted to make for like 2 months since the day one that I got my TR-1000. So in this video, I'm just gonna do a comparison between TR-1000 and the Akai MPC 3 Live. I know some people, some fanatic fans of TR-1000 might say, this is not the right comparison, they're not the same thing, but you're wrong. They are, because they both have the TR recording machine. So they are both beat making machines. They're not like a regular instrument that every musician who knows to play music, they can play with a keyboard or a guitar or a drum. These are beat making machines mostly for DJs and people who are creating that sort of music. So I'm gonna do some comparison between these two machines and see if the TR-1000 has what it takes to really worth that hefty price tag of $2,700 versus the Akai MPC, a complete DAW in a box, 64-bit, 8 GB of internal RAM with an 8-core CPU at only $1,700. So yeah, we're gonna go over that. And disclaimer, I'm a Roland fanboy. As you see, I have Roland pictures on my wall. I have 2 sets of Roland Phantom 8EX and X Juno X System 8 TR8S MC707 SP404 Roland Guitar, Roland Gaia 2. So I'm technically a loyal fanboy of Roland, but I'm not biased toward Roland. As you see, I have the other gears. I have tons of Korg gears. I have Kronos, Nautilus, and also I have Yamaha products like Montage M8X, Montage M, Corswell, and also Akai. And matter of fact, I have only 2 gears from Akai. It's only Akai MPC 61 and this machine. So only 2 gears from Akai versus probably 10 gears that I have from Roland. But I just don't want to be biased. I don't want to be a fanatic fan of something. Just, blindly take side with that machine. I just want to do a real comparison for people who want to choose. If they go to a music store and they have $2,700 in their pocket, is it better to come out with this machine, which is a great machine by the way, or this machine, which is great as well? Okay, let's get into it. We're gonna start with a little bit of history. This is a book by Roland and the name is Inspire the Music. It's a very good book to have. It's around 75 bucks and you can buy it at Amazon. And this goes over all the history of the Roland products over the course of I guess 50, 60 years that they have been in business. And I guess it's somewhere around page 35 that it goes over the drum machines and how they came into Roland lineup. If I can find that page. Yeah, it starts here actually. That's where it starts, and a little bit of history about everything, 808 and the rest of the drum machines. And it's really good book, so I do recommend you guys to have this. It's really worth it. And yeah, so you all know the 808 and 909, and I guess the TR-1000 is banking on the history of 808 and 909, and they claim that this is like a machine that has the analog circuitry in it, and that's why a lot of people are excited about the TR-1000. And you see a lot of pictures from the famous musicians like Howard Jones, Duran Duran, and along with the other bands in this book. So if you're a Roland fanboy like me, it's better to have this book. It's really recommended. And let's go back to our TR-1000. Okay, so we're going to talk about 1000 TR-1000 because that's why this video is for. So this machine is a hybrid machine, and according to Roland, it has both analog and digital circuitries inside. It has analog and digital filters. Almost like the same thing that you find on something like the Roland Phantom. On the Roland Phantom, you have analog and digital filters, and since the Roland Phantom is a flagship, you do have a TR machine inside built in. You get the TR machine in most of the Roland products. This machine, in terms of the first look, when you take it out of the box, it definitely has a premium look. And it looks somehow darker than what you see in the videos. And you know, when you see in any video or picture of this machine, it looks like a shiny silver, but it's like a one shade darker than silver, which is very nice. I like this step sequencer button. They are inspired by TR-909, and they're like a numeric keys that you find on the keyboard, and action is really good. So everything that you touch on this machine, it feels good, you know, to the touch, and it better be because you're paying $2,700. Everything is high resolution, from the faders to this knobs. I guess the knobs could be better because they could have better grip. Like, I like the knobs on this machine. The first thing that I like about MPC products, when you touch a knob, the pop-up menu pops up just by touching it, and you can go through the sub menus. And one thing that I wish the TR-1000 had are these pads. These pads are awesome. I mean, it's good to have pad, and the TR-8S has one pad at least, but this machine doesn't. That's one thing. And the second thing that is annoying on this machine, it's a very small screen. And you know, because of the workflow of this machine, you have to go through a lot of menu diving. And because of that, since you don't have a touch screen, you have to use these cursor buttons and this 6 encoder knobs to go through those menus, which makes the workflow a little bit slower, and sometimes it's confusing. So it takes you a while to get used to it. Other than that, I mean, it's a perfect machine. The workflow is good for a drum machine that is designed by or inspired by 80s technology. Overall, I like it. I love it. The feel of anything of this machine. However, in the front ridge, when you touch it, it's a little bit sharp. So they didn't grind that part that much. I mean, so you see some fits and finish in this machine, which might not be as perfect that it should be. But overall, the build quality is like a tank. But it brings one downside. It makes it heavy and bulky in comparison with something like a TR-8S. I wish we could have something like a clip launching, something like we have on Roland Phantom. We do have that thing. It's Ableton-like, and I'm glad that the new MPC does have that clip launching. So you get that clip launching, exactly the same thing that you have on the Roland Phantom, and exactly the same thing that you have on something like Ableton. And I wish this machine could have that. It comes with the software that you can download, and you can do a lot of edits and everything on the software, which doesn't make any sense to me, because if I want to use a software to control this on my computer, I may go ahead and create my entire drum track on a DAW as well, which is much easier and better. So there's no point on that to get a software to control a hardware. It's kind of a little bit of ridiculous. In terms of what they do, as I said, they both have TR recording, they both have a step sequencing. So in that regard, they're pretty similar, because what it can do, what this machine can do with all these knobs and faders, this machine can do even better and faster with less knobs and faders, because you have a very impressive, great touch screen and you have pads. So the workflow is much better. And I like this ribbon control. That helps you a lot. So technically, everything this machine does, the other one does too. But this machine can do a lot that this machine cannot do. You can craft your entire song because it's a DAW in a box. You can craft your entire song, even sing along with the built-in microphone, and record it. Record the project, and you don't even have to use a DAW. If you want to be DAWless, you can export your project to a, to your computer, to a flash memory, and voila. And this machine has another great feature, like any of the other MPC product. It does have a Wi-Fi. So anytime you want to import something, anytime you want to import like a new plugin, a new VST, or anytime you want to update, you don't have to go through that process, the download the update, then unzip it and put it inside the flash memory, and then bring it to your hardware. I wish every keyboard was like that, but I mean, Yamaha Genius 2, which I have it here, does some like a Wi-Fi functioning, but it's not like that great, but it does somehow Wi-Fi connectivity. So the other thing that you get on this machine, as I said, already, that the Roland banking on that 808 and 909 analog circuitry inside this machine, and you can really hear that. You can really hear that low bass of 808. But for instance, if you choose, let's say if I choose a sound from 909 here, so you have to change sometimes the pitch in the range of 60% in order to be very identical to the iconic 909. So but the thing is, when you use the ACB technology, which is a technology you can find it across a lot of Phantom Roland product, like in Roland Phantom, and you can have the ACB in some of the other product, and also you get the ACB on the Roland Galaxias. You can get all these machines on the Roland Galaxias, and they are all Zencor, and they are ACB technology. ACB is pretty close to the real analog sound because it's an analog circuit behavior, so they have replicated the whole analog circuitry with digital programming, and you get very close. I would say it's 98% is the same thing. So if you play like a 909 from this machine and you play the same 909 out of the ACB, it's pretty close. But when you use the Zencor, I would say maybe if the ACB is like 98% the same, Zencor is maybe 95%. So, and the fact is, in the mix, you don't even notice that difference, honestly. You don't even notice that difference, so I don't know. But yeah, so in terms of, we went over the build quality, we went over the things that this machine can do. This machine has definitely not a very intuitive, workflow. It's good. I mean, I don't say it's bad. You can have direct access to a lot of stuff, especially when you hold the shift and you go through the menus. You can change everything. A lot of shortcuts, but you have to memorize them, of course. Workflow files definitely is not as good as the Akai MPC, but it still is a very great machine. In that regard, I should give it a thumbs up. In terms of build quality, the sound quality, and the analog feeling that you get out of this machine, it's great. The only problem that I have with this machine is the pricing. The $2,700, which seems really overpriced, and I believe it is. I'm a Roland fanboy. I have tons of gears. I have tons of Roland gears. I have probably over $40,000 Roland gears. And I have no problem with paying like $4,000 or $5,000 for any workstation. This machine, this Arranger keyboard, is around $6,000. The Genius 2 is $6,000. This, for instance, the Montage M is $4,400. I have two sets, not even one, Roland Phantom 8EX. They are like $4,000 something each. I have the Kronos tree. I have the Nautilus tree. So I don't, and I have like a 30 guitars that are like a $3,000 and even higher each. So I don't mind to pay high dollar for a gear, but when something is overpriced, honestly, I should say this thing is overpriced. If the Akai is $1,700, This shouldn't be 2700. And don't give me that thing again that these are two different things. No, they are not two different things. If you think they are two different things, you are totally wrong, because they both can do the same thing. If this one has a TR machine and this one does have a TR machine, that means this machine includes the TR machine and a lot more. That means this machine do less. There is nothing that this machine can do that the Akai cannot do. But there are tons of things that the Akai can do, but that this machine cannot do. And not to mention, you can even buy a workstation, even if you want to pay like a $4,000 something to buy a full flagship like a Roland Phantom. You can buy a Roland Phantom 0 series. And I guess if you buy like a 61 keys around the same price of this machine, and you get everything. You get clip latching sequencer, you get the TR machine, you have ACV modeling sounds inside the machine. I'm not sure if the Phantom Zero has the ACV though, but you have the TR-808 and 909 sounds, and they're pretty legit. Honestly, if you think about it, if you are familiar with the electronic even a little bit, cost of building a cell phone, the phone that you have in your hand with all that marvelous technology, OLED screen, like a high capacity battery, and that powerful CPU, is like a $500. Cost to build this machine is not anywhere about $500. It's not that much. There's nothing special in this one. This screen is the same screen that they brought it from, like a Roland Gaia 2. These knobs or potentiometers are like a 30 cents each. If you put all the things together, all the components, at most maybe it costs to build this, and it's not even manufactured in Japan, it's manufactured in Malaysia. So cost to build this machine is not that much for Roland, and they didn't spend that much in research and development, because technically they got all the other technology that they had and put it in one box. So designing the event secretary is not that hard. They can do it with the software very fast and easy. But the thing is, when you pay $2,700, that's a retail price that you pay. The net that Roland banks out of this machine is $1,500 or even less. So they're making like $1,000 on these machines, which in terms of a big corporate like Roland is not that much, because they're not going to sell too many of these units. I guess maybe 5 or 6 or at most 10,000 units. The price is going down, because right now if you go to some of the websites like a Craft Music, they're selling this at $2,700, but they give you a bag and a Roland headset. So it's like you're buying it around $2,400. So I'm assuming this unit is going to go down after a year or so, after Roland sold as much as they could to those fanatic fans of the TR-808 and TR-909. After a few thousand units that they sold at the highest price, then eventually they're going to lower the price, and that's going to be the future of this machine. And another thing, when these drum machines came in 80s, it was a big thing. It was something like an AI. But after that, we had too many other good things. We had something, maybe a lot of you guys, especially people who are just working with this type of machines and they don't play instruments, they don't know. There is something called music arrangers. These music arrangers that I have, 2 of them, one of them is Korg PA5X, the other one is Yamaha Genius 2. It's a machine that can play the entire backing track. So that means you go and choose your style, whatever you want, in any genre, and you have not even your drum track in 4 different variations, 4 intros, 4 outros, filling and break. Also, you can modify that to your taste, or you can create your entire backing track. So you're just not gonna have a beep and boop drum track. You're gonna have entire backing track. For instance, this one is Future Pop. We have a drum track. It's a nice one that I can try. And I can modulate, I can change chords. So when you have something like an arranger for someone who want to play like a single or solo player, I don't know if the drum machine is going to be a suitable thing for today's music scene. Also for music creation, of course, you have something like Akai if you don't want to work with the computer, we don't want to work with DAWs, and which is the DAW in the box, or you can have DAWs and you can craft the entire music on a DAW in the best way, very fast and easy, or you can create an entire drum track. For instance, the new Cubase has one of the best built-in drum tracks, drum machines that I've ever seen, and it's very joy to work with. Also, you have all the Roland drum machines on the Roland Galaxias, on Roland Cloud, and they sound pretty authentic, very close. As I said, they are ACB technology, so you get almost the same sound that you get on a real 808. And you can use those VSTs on any given project in your DAW. So let's play some stuff with these two machines and compare the sound quality. I know, all the sounds on these machines are, and this machine are sample based, but oh man, this machine is beautiful, especially this pad. This pad is an expressive pad that you can get the different corners of it and get different sounds. Beautiful. It's a beautiful machine and I love it. And the fact that it's portable, if you look at the machine now, it's not even connected to anything. It's not connected because it has a built-in battery. I made another video a few days ago. I brought my TR-800 and MC707 and SP404 and put this side by side by this. You can go and watch that video. The fact is you can buy MC707, which is a groove machine, and you can play with the pads on it, and you can buy a TR-800, which is on sale at I think it's on sale around $688, plus SP404 Mark II, and your total gonna be $2,400, and then you have more capabilities than this machine. Total overall, you still can save like a $400. So any way that you think about it, the price tag of $2,700 is the downside of this machine. That's the main problem that I have. Otherwise, it's a great machine. It's a joy to play with, and build quality is impressive, and that nostalgic feeling that it brings, it's really good. I mean, I like it that you can hear those 808 and 909 sounds in it, but I don't think it's really worth $2,700, honestly, to be honest. But if it's something that it works for you, I mean, I'm glad. Am I regret that I bought it? No, I'm not. But I didn't pay $2,700 because Roland gave me a voucher, and I bought it at much cheaper price, which I cannot disclose here. I mean, even at the price that I bought it, I think it's still overpriced. This could be a good machine if it was within the range of, I would say, between $1,200 up to $1,500. That's the price range that I think it's really fair for this machine. But $2,700, it's really steep because you can buy a lot of other good gears at that price point. Okay, we're gonna come to the conclusion and we're gonna wrap up this video. By the way, I just put my Gaia 2 next to the TR-1000. I think they are the good match for a good match small synthesizer for this machine. So if you have already Gaia 2, that would be awesome. Otherwise, it might be a good machine to buy and match it with the TR-1000. However, I wish it was a little bit darker, like a TR-1000. This gives you a better perspective that you can now understand what color in reality is TR-1000. Okay, the conclusion is, so I think the TR-1000 is impressive. It's one of the best, or I could say it's the best drum machine that Roland has ever built. It's built like a tank, has a good quality, same as other their flagship that they have, like a Roland Phantom. A very nice machine. You can go through a lot of details and create impressive drum tracks to your liking. I like the fact that it does have the analog circuitry and it gives you that real nostalgic feeling of 808 and 909. In terms of having that nostalgic feeling of 80s, it's priceless. So nothing can give you that, especially at this price point. So the winner is obviously MPC Live 3, even though, as I said, the nostalgic sensation that the TR-1000 gives you, it's impressive and it's priceless. But if I have $2,700 in my pocket and I go to a music store, I most likely gonna come out with the MPC Live 3 rather than buying the TR-1000. However, if you think the TR-1000 is the best machine for you, go ahead and buy it. Am I regret that I bought it? No, I love it, but I still think it's overpriced. Should be in a price range between $1,200 up to $1,500. That's what I think is a fair price for this machine. But I love it. Buy MPC3 Live. You can have everything that this machine offers you in that package. But if you buy TR-1000 by itself, this machine by itself cannot give you what you get in MPC3 Live. I hope this review helps you. Thanks for watching this and bye for now.